everyone, welcome to Craft Addict K. I'm Karla and this is our third catch-up video. And today is going to be a Good Friday A-Palooza for sure. Samantha's at work, so you're getting just me again, and I just want to do a couple of reminders. My first catch-up video, we posted that we were going to be doing a giveaway for Witch from La Di Da, giving this pattern away. So if you haven't commented yet, it's your last chance. Go back to the catch-up video number 1 to comment. Any comment will do. There's no specific word. I'm just going to randomly pull it. And we'll be pulling this on our next video. So it is Karla's catch-up video number 1. And quite funnily is not really a word, catch-up video number 2 ended up being called I Talk a Lot Cath-up video. Being I'm a nurse, thank you Jamie for saying, have you looked at your video's name? I hadn't. Apparently it auto-corrected and made it Cath-up. I talk a lot, not catch-up. I'm talking a lot. So I left it. I want to welcome any new members and also say thank you for staying if you've been with me from the very beginning. This is a new format for me and it has turned into, I've been so well received by everybody, I think it's turned into a more regular videos from me, which I appreciate. And I think I'm a little bit crooked, so I'm going to try and adjust here a minute and see if I can fix this up straighter here. We're probably still crooked, but I think we're okay. All right, so I want to start off with some honorable mentions. Stitching by Twilight. If you've not seen her, she just put out a video, Beth Ann. She's been a long time away from videos, but she did a great job. It was only her 4th one. And if you haven't visited with her, I suggest that you do. I'm hoping that they'll come out more regularly. And Cheryl McKinney this week has been like really motivating me. There's Max. You can see Max down here. She did a, I don't know what you would call it, little videos that was about Thanksgiving, and she called it Tranquil Thanksgiving. She is one of the founders of the Daily 30 group, which opened today for new members, but in order to become a member, you have to be invited by somebody who is a member. They were only letting 40 people in. So probably by the time you see this, it's probably going to be full. So I don't even know why I brought it up other than to say sometimes it does open up. So Max just took a walk around the room and kind of threw me off a little bit. Anyways, she wanted you to comment each day was a letter of Thanksgiving. And the premise was that you would comment on what you were thankful for. But unusual things, not like the normal, like everybody's thankful for family and thankful for friends, but maybe like tea. What would you be thankful for? In Samantha's case, it might be she was thankful for tea because she's a tea drinker. So different things like that, and it was a lot of fun. I think I really enjoyed it. She did it, her husband is selecting winners of each day. Comments and what tickles his fancy, and I just thought it was really fun. It was fun. So thank you, Cheryl, if you're watching this. It was a lot of fun. I hope to see you do something similar to that again next year, because I think for one of the eyes, I was thankful for ices, because on a hot summer day, who doesn't be thankful for an icy popsicle? It's just the different things you don't think about, your everyday things that just kind of pop up like kites and whatnot. She has also enabled me on some diamond painting videos. Let's talk about, I decided that I was going to have a goal before December 13th, which is now 16 days away, because today is Friday, November 26th, day after Thanksgiving Day for those of us in the United States. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope it was all good food and good friends. And today is our typical Black Friday shopping day, so that's why I thought this is Black Friday haul day for sure. I've got a lot of haul, but I had decided about a week ago that what I was going to do is I'm updating my album for the No New Starts 2022 group, that I should pull out, if I'm already going to have to pull things out to take pictures, why not do some stitches in it and then take my end picture for the year of 2021 and my new picture for 2022 for in my No New Starts 2022 album. So with that being said, that has caused me to touch some of my whips I haven't touched all year, which is fun. And the other thing is well, that's the important thing. I haven't touched it all year, but I'm getting through a lot of whips, so you're going to see a lot of whips today. And hopefully you'll see a lot of whips with my next video if I continue down this course. And then I'm setting them aside so that on December 13th, it's No New Starts, 12 Days of Christmas event, and we're going to be starting all the things. Right now I'm up to 26 new starts, potentially more after you see my haul. But planned for now is 26. That's still not the most, and I have from December 13th to December 31st to make all of that happen, and it's 200 stitch minimum. So I think I can easily enough do that. But you know, if I don't, it's okay. Then that just means I'm going to be more encouraged to finish things on my whip list so I can replace them with new, because I am doing the work your whip option. I am incorporating a lot more different sizes this year. Some mediums, some small, some larges, because I have plenty of apps, and I've got a couple of apps I'm starting to, so let's be real. All right, so let's start. No particular order. I'm just going to show you what we've been working on for the whips, and we'll get started. First up is Early American series, and I was just stitching on this one today. I have 3, I'm working on the 3rd block. I'm putting them all onto one piece of fabric, and I am using Valdani threads. It was a conversion that I got at the shop where I bought the patterns from. And so you can see I have these first top 2, John Hancock and Betsy Ross. I may outline the star in between Betsy Ross because you don't see it very well, so I may have to outline that one, but that's okay. I'm going to wait till I'm done to decide that. And I'm trying to roll it up on the scrolls as I go. You can see Martha Washington is coming into play down here on the bottom. And so what I'm doing is I'm making it like a long bell pull. There's 4 total, I think, of 8, 9 blocks. So I'm doing 2, 4, 6, like I'm doing all of them down, and then there's a Liberty Bell that I'll put at the bottom in between all of them. So that's my plan. And I may turn it into like just quilted as a finish, put a quilt back of some Americana, vintage Americana fabric. It's kind of what I'm thinking as I've been stitching on it, but that's where I'm at. And with this one, my husband made me, I had these American Dream scroll rods. They have Velcro, and it's Velcro on the end of my fabric. And then my husband took wood and just drilled holes in the ends so that I could have some split rails. So if you're wondering, this is one of my homemade options that he did for me. So, all right. So there is that. So I'm going to pop that into a bag here, and I'm going to put it back here behind me. All right, let's see. Next up, Autumn Quaker. And I'm not sure what fabric that is. I want to say that's a 28 count platinum, but I'm not 100% sure. This would be Autumn Quaker. This is my working copy by Rosewood Manor. This is one of, was a stitch along that the Sunshine Stitchers did, another stitch along with Gary. This is on 28 count Lugana doubloon by Picture This Plus. And let's see if I can, I have a long ways to go. You can tell where my Q-snap was and the wrinkles of where it was rolled up. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to kind of move over to scroll rods, because you don't get all the wrinkles. But I did take this out of the Q-snap, give it a rest. I'm not going to be stitching on it, I know, for a while. And that's as far as I've gotten. And this is with the Valdani threads. They come in a pack like this. The Autumn Quaker Rosewood Manor 3-strand cotton floss. If you can see that. They come into like balls like this. And as you take it off, you use 3 strands. I think that's the one thing I'm probably not enjoying about stitching on this. It's beautiful. I love the colors. but when I'm stitching with 3 strands, it seems so bulky, and I'm not restarting it. So I'm going to keep going and keep plugging away, and there's definitely a lot of texture, but you can see that's as far as I am. I do like it. I like the fabric. I like the project. Just not a fan of the Valdani threads. Nothing against the Valdani at all, but I'm just not a fan, at least of those ones. They seem to shred some, so I'm not a big fan. Let's see. Next up, I have Twin Towers and Flag. And you can see I've got these on my bobbin. So this was an earlier project. I started this in 2019 when I bobbinated things, and I put pictures on the front of my plastic bin to tell me what it's supposed to look like. And I never switched away from that. So this is where I am. And these are called bobbies. And when I said I sew a pouch on the top, this is the fabric I sew to the top of my, for my Omnic frames, because then I can put the little scroll through here and then slide that in, and it saves my fabric. So, and then all I do is, when it's done, I'll cut that section off so I don't lose anything. So you can see I got it on the top and the bottom. But anyways, here's where I am. Starting to get the buildings in, you can see. And that is a fun stitch too. And that is a Starbucks needle minder that I got from Stitch and Button. You can find her on Facebook. Stitch N, the letter N Button. And because that's on scroll rods and I took it off, I put it into one of my little Amazon project bags. Okay. Next up is Rise of the Witches, and this is in my bag from Garand. You'll see a lot of his Garand totem bags because I was a member of the month for about a year, and then I'd since had dropped from being a member. I'm kind of regretting that because I do love all their bags, but I got to have projects to put in all these bags, right? So these are my nurses, and this is Rise of the Witches. It was on this Q-snap. As I'm taking pictures for the 2022, taking them off the Q-snap. So I'm keeping the Q-snap with the project bag. And this is how big it will be. It is a long and skinny one. This is a quick stitch, I believe. So, or it might be a story keep. I think it's a quick stitch. But this is where I am. And I will insert a picture over here somewhere. That's why I'm holding it up a little bit longer so you can see where I'm at. And there's some people on Fun Day that are doing that stitch with me. And that's another Stitch and Button needle minder. If you're looking for ideas for holiday gift ideas. So that would be Rise of the Witches, and I think it's by Linda Parker. I could tell you, because I have my book right here. Why don't I tell you that stuff? You might want to know it. So, Rise of the Witches is Lisa Parker, and it's on 25 count easy grid. I stitch over 1, so. Okay, next up in here, we have Folk Witch. So, this is another Garand bag. Folk Witch is a Gecko Rouge pattern. It comes like this. It is Gecko Rouge. I ordered a 25 count. I'm doing 25 count over 1. It comes with your threads. It comes with your material. Everything. This is my extras. Because I moved these over to my Annie Keepers. But you can see it's got the emblems. I wouldn't have to. It's definitely cardstock. And I wouldn't have to move it over. I just did when I got this. The next ones I do, I don't know that I'll move them off the cards if I don't have to. Not that it was bad. It's just, why do all that extra work if you don't have to do all that extra work? So this is one. This was one that got me to use my free start in No New Starts 2021. Because I had to stitch it. I wanted to stitch it. And you can see I've not gotten very far, but for prosperity, here it is. I got a star. You can barely see it, but there's a star right there. So I'm still up in the corner. I think this needle minder was a gift that was sent to me, and I believe it came from Mad for Minders, but I'm not 100% sure. I got this one, and I got a Harry Potter one, and I'm not sure, but I love them. They're great. So there is this. And it does come, just so you know, Gecko Rouge does come with the full pattern as paper, and they will email you the PDF so you can download it. Some of them download very easily to Pattern Keeper. Some of them did not. When I have two that came in my haul. One of them uploaded okay. I had to do it twice for the colors to upload. But once I uploaded it twice, at least I didn't have to manually enter it. So that would be Folk Witch. All of these I worked on this week. So, well, since our last video. Some of them are a surprise. This one's a surprise. Let me see, what do I got here? This is one. Oh, this was a restart for me. And I put this... Here's some of my flosses for it. Again, one of my first original ones I started, originally back in 2019. This is how much I had done on her when I restarted it. So I had that much done. I cut it off. I just couldn't part with it. I don't know what I'll do with that part. I also have hers on floss drops. This would be Lyra. And this artwork is by Micah Jelena. It's a Heaven and Earth design. And she is pretty. She was a rack to me by my friend Isabel. Isabel has a YouTube channel as well. I think it's Addict. I think she changed the name and now I can't remember what the new name is. But she does some great videos on her progress and where she is. Plus she's done some on how to get a lot of fabric into Q-snaps, which was very helpful. But this is how far I got. I think this is about 4,000 stitches, I think. Don't quote me. Might be less than that. But that's as far as I got. You can tell where I was. So that's where I'm headed. And this is on my roller frame. It's a split rail system that's got tacks in between. Project isn't a lot of fabric. And I believe these came from Garand Studios. I believe for my grime guards, but I'm not 100% sure. And what I did was I actually took the card from my bag that I had this in and I clipped it to my grime guard that is on this project so I know that this is what's in here. In case anybody was wondering. And I don't store them tight. When I store them, I do loosen everything. Oh, so you can see on the top where the tacks, I took the tacks through. I do loosen everything up because I don't want to keep tension on the fabric. So I try and make sure that it's not tight. I don't know why, I just do that. So I don't want to stretch anything out that doesn't need to be stretched. So, and the needle minders on here were buttons that I found and added a magnet to the back. So, and I thought Little Mermaids was appropriate for on here. All right, so that would be Lyra. Tuck her back into this bag, and this is just one that I found when I was trying to put stuff away. Nothing was in it, so I decided to make something go in it. And I try to put my floss and keep my floss together. So you can tell this one I've had both. I have some colors in that on the spool, and some colors are not on the spool, but they're in the on the floss cards themselves. So I prefer the floss cards. They don't kink up, and it seems for me, whenever I bobbinate, those threads seem to knot up more for me. Not saying that they do for everybody, but they do for me. This next one, I'm going to see if I can pull up the card. Oh, by the way, Folk Witch, the artist on that is called Medusa Dollmaker. That's that Gecko Rouge kit. This one is in ink circles, and it is Fire Burn Cauldron Bubble. It has one color of thread. Comes in handy for all kinds of different challenges. I did not write down what the fabric was, so I'm not sure. But it's definitely a bright green. So, we're getting close. This whole bottom corner is done. I'm up here close to the top. It'll come across and then back down here on this side. So we're getting there. That's where I am thus far. Oop, I do like how it pops on the green. This is a very bright green. I jokingly call it Gary Green, but I don't know that it is Gary Green, but it is definitely a bright green. So that's Fire, Burn, and Cauldron Bubble by Ink Circles. And that's all in 310. And I believe that that is a 32 count fabric. And this is a project bag from Stitch and Button. Okay, next up we have Harbor Haven. Harbor Haven is, I don't have my picture here, but let me see. Let me pull up my sheet. Harbor Haven is, I'm doing the series. I think there's 12 patterns. I'm doing the whole series on one piece of fabric. Of course, I don't have it written down. I believe it, I'm pretty sure this is a picture of this plus. I wrote it down someplace. Oh, here it is. Where's my pen? I need to write that over here. It is a 32 count. Picture this plus called Ariel. And I am doing it one thread over two. So, this is where I am thus far. So I'm just starting. It'll go across this way. It's going to be longer than it is wide. There's a lighthouse that'll go up here. This is the first time I've stitched on it all year. And I really enjoy stitching on it. So I do need to make this more of a priority in the coming year, because I want to make some progress. And that's in my Garand Mickey Mouse grime guard holder. And I do loosen those up as well. You can see it's very loose, and I do that so that I don't end up with a bunch of marks on the fabric. And that's done with DMC floss and one thread over two. I'm writing this down in my book because I don't want to forget. It took me a minute to figure it out when I first pulled it out because I hadn't seen it for so long. I kind of forgot. Next up is Welcome to the Nut House. This is by Waxing Moon Designs. This is what it looks like. It's my working copy. So Waxing Moon, Welcome to the Nut House. I did do some conversions on this, not a lot. And it is on, it's a painted linen. Yep, let me tell you. Painted linen, I believe it's a 28, might be 32 count. But I'm doing this with two threads. I'm trying to use as much of the called for as I can, but the tail might be different. Do I have it facing right? Yep. So that's where I've gotten to. So I've been working on the squirrel. We're not quite there yet. But when I say it's painted fabric, that's the front and this is the back. So you can see the difference between the front and the back. There's some more variegation on the front. There's nothing on the back. And it's other than that, all I can tell you is it's a mystery piece. Let me see if I have it written down in here. I don't know that I do. No, I don't have it written down. So it's a mystery piece of linen that I had that's painted on one side. And this is in my vinyl front bag that I believe my mom had made me at one point in time. So, whoop. See, once I do the video and show you all the things, then I can, oops, I forgot to put the project back in there. Then I can put it away. And these ones will be tucked away safely until next year, which is happening soon, where I will get them out and play with them all again. And I believe this may be my last whip of the week. This is California Dream. And California Dream was, let me flip here. Let's see. It's a Jeff Haynes design on From Heaven and Earth. He's the artist. It's a biggin. It is a biggin. You can tell. Definitely a biggin. And this is on my Omnic frame. Let's see if I can move that. Okay. And I'm up in the upper corner. So you can see I have this beautiful parrot come into play with my needle minders and my camper and my Southern California needle minder that's from my friend that has a cross stitch channel, her and her mom, Southern California. And it's called, Southern California Stitching. So if you look her up, you will see her and her family and their stitching. So there's a beautiful sunset. So I will put what the pictures are supposed to look like so you can see them when I do the editing part. But let me put this back in this little improvised pouch I've made. So I make that. It protects it. That's what it's supposed to do. I have a little tag that has the name of it. It's a repurposed tag. It came with one of my scroll rod covers that I got a while back. Okay. All right. So that is the whips. So that's the whips. We're 27 minutes in. Let's talk haul because I have a slew of haul. All right. Now, in no particular order, let's start with Grace Note Stitches. Grace Note Stitchers. They enable me. They have a new company that they are trying to get kicked off with that is offering hand-dyed fabrics, needle minders. I think that she's got some scissor fobs that the girls make and floss drops. So she also can get patterns now if there's patterns you're looking for. So you can reach out to her. Like I said, she's new, so she doesn't have inventory. She dies to order somewhat. I think you, if you're in the fabric of the month, she dyes it. She may dye, if she has extra pieces, she may dye extra to offer on the Facebook group. But for the most part, if you want something in particular, you just have to reach out to her and work it out with her. So it's called, this is a pattern that I asked her. It was one of my, she does this wish list Wednesdays. And this was one of the ones that was on my wish list. I hadn't really gotten the nerve up to get it because it is a little bit bigger. But it's beautiful. It is 252 stitches by 229 stitches. And it's called Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower. I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm sorry about the glare, but so I ordered this from her. My intention originally was I was going to put it on this 32 count piece of fabric called Sarah, also from Grace Note Fabrics. So my original plan was to put it on here, and that is really true to color, I think. It's like a green. And it's called Sarah. Put that up there so you can see it. So I got a half a yard piece because I really like this color and I don't have many green in my stash. And I thought this was going to be the color I was going to put it on. I just may have to change some of the greens to something else or something darker. But then as I was going through the rest of my stash and sharing it with my friend Jamie, she suggested a different color. And I think that color she suggested was Barbara. This is Barbara. This is a 25 count lugana that I had ordered. And it is a bluish kind of has some grays. I would say some grays in there, but for the most part, it's like a denim-y blue. So I may go with that. I'm going to do a floss toss and see. I also ordered a 25 count fabric called Phillip. I don't have 25 count in my stash, and I am planning on using the 25 count to do my Gnome of the Month sowls on. So I wanted to have some different colors, so I jumped on her fabric of the month to get that, to get some 25 count variety. This was a fabric of the month, I believe, for November, and it's called, I want to say it's Andante. I don't know. But look at that. It's so pretty. Love their fabric. I'm excited to start stitching on it. I don't think there's going to be any problems with stitching on it. I'm really excited. This is the fabric of the month called Blueberry Milkshake. And this is a very light, kind of a baby bluish color. Maybe some grays, but for the most part, it looks like a nice baby blue sky. And that's also 25 count lugana. Do you see a trend? Then we have Joy to the World. This is 25 counts. And this is another blue, a little bit darker. If you put them together, so you can see it's a little bit darker. And then here's your Barbara. So you can see there's 3 different blues right there. So blue gives you a lot of spectrum, I would say. Told you there was going to be a lot of haul. And then I got a 25 count piece of Sarah as well. Because I think this one might put I may put my March gnome on. And there will be plenty that I can do the gnomes and I can do something else. So there's plenty there that I can play with my projects. So that is what I got from Grace Notes Fabrics. Then, you know, EJ from Sunshine Stitchers enabled me to get from M&M's. This is a little package. And what's in it is I ordered a skin tone. It was relatively inexpensive. I think it was $17 for the set. And these are 6. There are 6 little mini silk. For this, I'm not doing this very well because they are very, they're twisted up into minis. M&M's. She's based out of New York, and this was a set that is called the Skin Tone. So you can see there's different skin tones in there, and I thought that would be something that's handy to have when you're doing people or you have a project that you just need a little bit of skin color with, that gives you a variety of different tones. And that was from M&M Studios, M-N-M Studios. She has other silks there too, but that one is what came to me. I also have, I got on Garand Studios website, and of course the first thing that popped up was this Erica Michaels pattern, and I had to have it. It is 98 by 83. This will be a start for the next coming year, and it's called God Bless America, and it has the song God Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam, my home sweet home. And she does give you an alternate pattern as well that is land that I love, God bless America, home sweet home. So is a smaller version. So I will be stitching this. I haven't picked my fabric yet, but I will be. Next up is, I had mentioned I was looking for some floss from Krynic that I needed for some of my full coverage pieces. And so somebody suggested using a blending filament, and it's sold out every place, but I did find on Stony Creek they had 032 Krynic Metallics blending filament. So, and I have 3 spools. This is going to be used for my Sunday Delight. That's what that's for. And I'm kind of anxious to see how that stitches up. It's very glittery. And it's in Phantom of the Opera takes this as well. And I was using Treasure Braid for that. So I'm going to be interested to try out both of them to see which one I like better. And I have from Gecko Rouge, After the Storm. This is a full kit. They come with fabric and floss. It's a Gecko Rouge by Tanya Bond called After the Storm. I just really like this. I like it. And I have a Morning Melody for Miss Havisham. And this is, sorry about the glare, but I don't want to take it out. But you can see there's little mice, rats down here carrying things. There's an owl flying. There's a wedding cake and the Bride of Frankenstein back here. And the skeleton's playing the piano. And, you know, there's a raven here. So it's more of a Halloween-y piece. But I don't, for whatever reason, it sat on my wish list and I kept coming back to it and kept coming back to it. And then I decided I had a coupon. I was just going to go ahead and get it. Again, it comes with your floss. It comes with your fabric of choice. I did the 25 count, but they do have it in 14 and 18 count. This one has 128 colors. And we were talking on Zoom last night, like the money we spent on haul, which is quite a lot, but how many hours of enjoyment do you get out of it? And it was funny because we were talking about my uncle went to play golf and spent over $200 playing 18 rounds of golf by the time you do dinner and hang out at the club, or if you go out to the bar for the night. What we spend in our crafts we'll have for a lifetime. And, you know, it's all about what we enjoy doing and enjoying the process. So that's all my haul. I think that's more than enough haul. But I do have some Stitchy kindness, and I wanted to share that. We have had some people sending donations in for the No New Starts 2022. Thank you. Please keep them coming. The more prizes that we have available to us, the more events and things we're going to try and put on and do random drawings, and we want to share with the community. So one of the girls sent a bunch of things, but she also sent this and said, Lori, thank you. I didn't say if I could say her name or not, but hey, Lori, I'm saying your name. Lori sent this Game of Swans by Long Dog Samplers. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to stitch that. And she's like, absolutely. So, Long Dog Samplers Game of Swans will be in my starting lineup for December. I'm really excited to get started on it. Look at those colors. So this is one of the reasons I think I'm drawn to this, is because it's not monogamous with one color. And I already went, as soon as I got home, I pulled fabric. I will be stitching it on Twilight. This is a 32 count Lugana from Grace Note Fabrics. I'm going to be stitching that on Twilight. And if you remember a while back, I showed some haul where I had ordered some Silks for You floss and some dinky dyes that were just kind of random. The Silks for You was random. I did it like a mystery. I had no idea what I was going to get, but I don't have many silks, so it really didn't matter. Well, I went through them and I pulled out a handful of these beautiful silks. Between Silks for You and dinky dyes, I did a toss. All right, so I pulled a bunch of these colors. I'm trying to, if I'd have been prepared like the Sunshine Stitchers are, you wouldn't have to see. Some of them don't even have a tag, so I don't know what they are. But because they were a mystery, I really thought, here, I'll just lay some of these out here. These are going to look great on this fabric. See? Don't you agree? I just think they're going to really pop. And I think I'm going to have fun with this. There's some yellow to add in. kind of a more variegated color. Here's a purple I want to add in. I'm just thinking, you know, this is going to be some nice dark blue that I'll be able to kind of play around and see what do I like. Picked out a couple of different greens. But all of these are silks that were in those mystery packs. And since I didn't, there's not enough to do one big project, but if I can coordinate the colors and use it for this one big project, I mean, I think it's doable. It's going to be different colors, but I think it's doable. Because I can make the flowers all a different color if I wanted. Just use a consistent color with the green. The swans, maybe make them the same color. The rabbits, you know, I can make those all different pops of color. I think I can have a lot of fun with it. So I'm looking forward to, and maybe I'll do alternate around. So many options. Now that I have my floss hanging on the wall in front of me, I find myself looking at it through the day when I'm stitching and thinking about, okay, I could switch this with that, or let me pull this color because this is a big area and I want to have some variegation, and I find myself going to my wall of colors of variegated floss more so than I do when it was in a shoebox or when it was tucked away someplace and I didn't see it. So I'm really glad I did that. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, at the end of my video I've been putting that picture of that floss hanging on my wall. I'm glad I did it. So I had no regrets. So this is going into my Garand bag. I need to put the name on the tag and it will go into my starts. I've already made my working copy. So the original will go into a binder so that it stays nice. My working copy is already in the bag and ready to go. Just need December 13th to get here so I can start all the things. And let me see, I think, sorry, I lost my book somewhere. Not sure what I did with it, but I think that's all the stuff. So I hope that you liked my catch-up video today. If you're a haul lover, you got a lot of haul to look for. If you like the whips, there's a lot of whips there for you to look at. And we'll see you next time. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye.